Hello, today's Bible study comes from John chapter 8, verses 31 through 38, and reads as follows. To the Jews who had believed him, Jesus said, "If you hold my teaching, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." They answered him, "We are Abraham's descendants and have never been slaves of anyone. How can you say that we shall be set free?" Jesus replied, "Very truly, I tell you, everyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now, a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the son sets you free, you will be free indeed. I know that you are Abraham's descendants, yet you are looking for a way to kill me because you have no room for my world. I am telling you what I have seen in the Father's presence, and you are doing what you have heard from your father." Ooh, that's making me jump, because I can tell you who he's talking about. Ooh. So, as we start this off, Jesus said to the Jews who didn't believe that if you just look at back, you can see how many did believe, and this verse is telling us to the ones who didn't believe. If you abide in my word, you are my disciples indeed. This was something that they had to learn. We had to be able to do things in his way. There was no other way, and there is no other way, and to be a follower of Christ. And to abide means to live in him. If you abide in my word, to those who have just been described, believing in him and having true belief in him and in his word, then you are considered his disciple. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Well, knowing the truth is Jesus, his word. And once you know his word, you are no longer a slave to sin. Sin is no longer a master to you. They answered him, "We are Abraham's descendants and have never been in bondage to anyone. How can you say you will be made free?" Jesus answered them, "Most assuredly I say to you, whoever commits sin is a slave of sin. And a slave does not abide in the house forever, but a son abides forever. Therefore, if the Son makes you free, you shall be free indeed." When they said we are Abraham's descendant, this was a reaction of the religious leaders didn't want to hear it. They didn't want to hear that noise. This is wonderful for us because it tells us about what it means to be free and by trusting in your word. Instead, they reacted. "And we don't need this. We're good," they said. Whoever commits sin is a slave to sin. And it's just meaning you have a habit to sin and you are a slave to sin. You are a part of this world because you are habitual with your sinning. A slave does not abide in the house forever, but a son abides forever. Slavery to sin is the worst kind of slavery because, well, there's no escape of self. Ooh, you must see it for yourself. And even slaves don't stay there all their life. They don't stay in the house forever. And the only way that you could be set free was from the Son. We needed the Son to set us free. And that's what he did. So if the Son makes us free, you shall be indeed. Jesus makes us free. All sin is atoned for, and excuse me for yawning again, but all sin is free. If we are slaves of sin, then we might be transferred from its household. If we slaves of sin, we don't want to hear God. We don't want to hear his music or anything like that. Now, In verses 37, I know that you are Abraham's descendants. They know this. Yet you are young. You are doing, well, let me see. Let me get back to that. I'm sorry. I am telling you what I have seen in my father's presence, and you are doing what you have heard from your father. That just tells you that Jesus is doing the Lord's will. And he's going to continue to do the Lord's will, as we all should. As we all should. Amen.